Always remember that life rewards the bold and the consistent. Call me the mother effing interview whisperer, bro. I'm cooked!
Yeah, the answer is just say yes with a smile, as long as it's not a hard no.
Excited to be here, excited to be alive, and I'm excited to see you guys tomorrow. Oh, wait. Yeah. Dancing on with these Japanese slippers that we stole from our last Airbnb is definitely not a vibe. Welcome to episode 4 of Is It Possible to Really Make 6 Figures in the Next 6 Months if you really lock the fuck in? Today is a new day, it's a new week. I'm about to have a team call in the next 2 minutes, but man, I gotta say I'm gassed up this morning, man. We recently moved into the spot. We downsized from a penthouse, but I've never been so excited to be somewhere, man. I swear to God, something is different, man. Something is in the air, and hopefully you can feel the flare. All right, guys, first order of business, first win for the team huddle is our first YouTube video that we did for the series, 204 views. We're about to get cranking, bro. We're about to get cranking. This shit's about to be a movie. Second big win is I'm noticing an improvement within Faddis' sales game. I did one session with him. Today I have another session with him. He's starting to record his calls a lot more, so I'm getting a lot more sales feedback. That's the biggest lever that I can pull with him right now. Another really big win that we have is 17 days into the month with Mikah. We're at 20.6K cash collected. That's like a phenomenal win considering that, yeah, bro, we usually get to this mark at around the end of the month. So adding on the second closer, opening up the calendar, and introducing the pre-calls has been huge. So that's been really fucking awesome. We're at 13 days left of the month, and I actually believe that we can hit this 50K, man. Like, it's so close, it's so in sight that like I could smell it, bro. It's in the kitchen right now and the smell is coming through to my room and I smell it in the air. We got 13 days until the end of the month. This is our plan right here if you guys can read that. But pretty much we gotta make some changes to the ad account today. We have to script out some emails for a cash collection campaign. Our cash collection campaign goes live on the 21st. We send that out to the different people who are in our pipeline. And then lastly, on the 23rd, we're launching a low ticket course that is going to be available to people who are unqualified or people who couldn't afford the program. So overall, we got 30K to make in these next 13 days. So we're about to have some fun. A couple days ago, I had the idea to hire a phone setter. The intuition just kind of came to me because I was doing some calculations about what our show rate was last month. It was about 42%. So we had a 58% no-show rate. We have 2 closers and we're getting a decent amount of call flow. But what's happening though is that our closers are not calling the leads fast enough, right? So what I thought to myself was, okay, cool. Let's go ahead and bring on a phone setter, but I didn't know how to structure it. Went out to dinner with a friend of mine who actually has phone setters in his business, and he gave me a phenomenal idea as to how it is that I could incentivize a phone setter. So right now, I'm actually having an interview with a phone setter who came in from the application that I put out a day ago. So a little bit about kind of where you're from, where you're based, and yeah, just anything that you would like to share.
Okay, so I'm currently based in like the Western province in South Africa, which is kind of like a state.
Okay.
We have provinces, you guys have states. So I currently stay in the Winelands. In 2 weeks, I'm moving to Cape Town.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard of Cape Town. But
Of course I've heard just because I'm American, it doesn't mean I don't know geography. Besides just making the amount of money that you want to make, what's really important for you when you consider working in a role? It pays you the money that you want to make, but what else is important?
Working in a company, I think believing in what you're selling is really important.
Woo! All right, that was the first ever interview I had with a phone setter. I'm a fucking G, dude. The way I'm handling these interviews and shit, bro, I'm going crazy. But genuinely, she's a great candidate. She is working another job full time. However, one of our closers is also part-time. But she still makes it work. With this candidate in particular, I really like her energy. I actually really like her accent as well. I think it could be very beneficial. So I'm gonna, what's it called? I sent over some questions for her. She's gonna answer them. We're gonna see kind of what her capacity is. And if there's an alignment, we'll offer her a position. I still haven't told Mikah that we're gonna hire a phone setter, but we gotta do that. All right, so Ferris, for the program, for the second prime method, we have a couple of different options available. Our options start at anywhere from $5,000 going all the way down to $2,000. Okay. Based off of those numbers that I told you, which programs do you feel like maybe a little bit more helpful for you?
Yeah, it's just a little more than I expected, to be honest.
Okay. I appreciate your honesty, man. Just out of curiosity, what is it that you expected?
I was expecting like maybe a couple hundred, to be honest, man. I wasn't expecting that.
Gotcha. And typically, Fedis, when it comes to this problem of your health, you know, your body in general, right? Over the last couple of years, like how much have you spent, you know, between just gym memberships, between fitness programs, between working out at new gyms, you know, between working out with different trainers, trying all these supplements, etc. How much have you spent in general over these last couple of years?
A lot, man. Maybe like at least probably $5,000, to be honest.
Yeah, and I want you to know something. That number that you mentioned is actually on the lower end. I've worked with over 1,000 people, and most people on their health alone, right, counting supplements, counting, you know, high quality food, counting fitness programs, counting gyms, counting trainers, counting all these different, you know, chiropractors, massages, etc. People typically spend upwards of like $5,000 to $10,000 a year just on maintaining their body. Okay. I understand where you're coming from though. I know that this program can seem like something that is expensive, and there's a reason for that. It's because this actually works, and we're solving a big problem here. Okay. This is then when you would go back to earlier on the call. Earlier on the call, you mentioned to me that your life would look significantly different over these next 6 months if this problem was gone, right? That's my boy, but like working with him on the sales side, there's so much belief shifting that needs to happen in order to move somebody from like, oh, like I used to just only sell low ticket to like now I could sell high ticket and I can actually collect the cash on the call. Financial objections are some of the easiest objections that you can deal with because they're pretty much saying, hey, I like what you're selling me. I just can't afford it in the way that you laid it out for me. Cool, we'll find a solution. It's not a problem. Always remember that life rewards the bold and the consistent. I have another interview with a phone setter that I didn't even know existed within the next 5 minutes. So yeah, there's that. That's what I recognize, man. You never know how things are gonna go until they go. Let's jump into this call and let's see how it goes. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. It is a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for jumping on here so quickly. Let's have an honest conversation about kind of what you're earning already at this other job, if you're open to that. And then I would love to kind of tell you a little bit about how we would love to compensate for this role.
Okay.
Bro, call me the mother effing interview whisperer, bro. I'm cooked. Hey man, let's go, man. This was a great candidate as well. I like the first candidate, but I feel way more confident with her just because of her availability. And also she's in the US and she's in EST hours already. So yeah, I feel really good about just kind of overall compensation too. She aligns with the vision of the company. So yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and drop the wisdom on the chat and we're gonna see what Mikah and the team think. But overall, super uber excited. Also, I gotta eat some lunch, bro. I'm starving. All right, so me and Mikah pretty much have a marriage. I present my crazy ideas to Mikah, and then Mikah overreacts. He settles, and then he says, okay, let's try it. So yeah, Mikah is just a G. So right now we have 10 minutes left in our one-on-one call, and we're gonna go ahead and interview Isabel that we met yesterday, and we're gonna see if she's a good fit. So you ready, Mikah? We were supposed to build the suspense, Mikah, that we were gonna say yes, but we did such a bad job of that.
Wait, sorry. Are you offering me the role?
Yeah, I mean, all right, Isabella.
Yeah, I would have, Isabel, out of like respect for you and I think just like everyone's time, I would have known already if you weren't a good fit. My body would have told me that.
Wow. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, let's give this a shot.
All right, guys, we're about to meet with the sales team. One thing I've been trying to do more and more of is track the show rate and the unqualified rate and to track our closing rate. So that's what we're doing right now, doing this on a weekly basis so that way we get a pulse on how marketing is performing and how sales is receiving the leads on the marketing end. So I'm gonna go ahead and meet with the closers right now, and we're gonna figure out some very importante information. Cool. So let's start off with Michael.
Yeah, we had a good call. He wasn't able to make a payment there. He said to call him later that weekend so he can make a payment
Okay.
I tried to reach out a few times and he hasn't responded.
Then we've got Salifu. I think that was you, Jordan.
Yeah, I was able to get a pre-call with him, but no, he didn't show up for like the actual call.
Yo, so the time is currently 8:51, and we started working today at about 8:30ish. Started by reading, puttering, kind of a part of a new routine that I'm trying to get down. But today was a great day, man. Spoke to 2 SDRs, decided on Mikah's new ad strategy, met with the closers, figured out what our current closing rates and our current no-show rates are. Spoke with my current team about kind of what the next 13 days are going to look like and how we can collect another $30,000 in cash so that we can close the month at a $50,000 cash collected month for the first time ever, which is really exciting. That number is actually a little bit lower now. It's about 27,000 because one of our closers just got off the phone with a lead and she closed her for a paid in full for one of our group programs. So the time is currently 1:56 right now. I just shut the blinds, put on Brain FM and locked the door. We are about to do like a 45-minute full concentration session, 15-minute break, then get back to it again. We got to script out copy for a new client, for his webinar videos, and then also got to take care of an agreement for the new phone setter that we just hired. And the last thing that I got to do is send over some references to a content assistant so that he can create our ads that we're going to be running later today, if not tomorrow. We might be taking a break today just because of the Cloudflare outage. However, yeah, we got a good amount of stuff to do, so let's lock the fuck in. This process of building a 7-figure business requires a complete shift in the identity of the individual who's actually building it and the team who's actually building it. Okay, today, for example, in the morning, we double checked the application that we had for Mikah. And what we found was that we were getting 70 people dropping off on the application over the course of the last 2 weeks, right? Simply just because the contact page was all the way at the end, right before the submit button. And what people were thinking was that, oh, just because I put in my information, it's done, right? But that's not the case, right? So today we made a change and we put the contact information from, instead of it being at the end, all the way to the front, right? And we had 7 applications that came in today. Of the 7 applications that came in today, 4 of them, right? 4 of them all got lead scores of 0. What that means is that all of these leads were dropping off after submitting in their name, their email, and their phone number in the beginning. So I'm testing this hypothesis now to see like, okay, cool. Like if we keep the contact information in the front, does the application drop off rate go down or does it go up, right? Today, it went down. The reason being though was because we weren't properly framing that, hey, you have to, after submitting in your contact information, you then will have to complete the actual assessment so that you qualify for the call. We didn't do that. And as a result, 4 potential leads with opportunity values of maybe $3,000 a pop, right? Gone. That's a potential $12,000 of revenue that could have gone towards our client. So like, I was noticing it later today too as well, where I was going through the application and I noticed that one question was not consistently getting answered, and it was our financial qualifier question. I noticed today, just now, that the financial qualifier question didn't have the required button turned on. We had one person who submitted an application today who, if she answered that financial qualifier question, actually would have passed and qualified for a call. That's an opportunity that was missed. So I'm right now about to record a voice message and send it to my team because I'm recognizing that having this level of intentionality where you are scraping everything that's happening is what's necessary to make this a business that is actually viable, to make this a business that genuinely makes 7 figures a year, right? But if everyone's just doing tasks and shutting their brains off, it's not actually gonna work. So I say this for myself first and foremost, if you want something to really work, you need to be really meticulous with every single element that you're bringing to it. Otherwise, you're just gonna be at the mercy of, hoping and praying that things are gonna work out. There has to be a level of intentionality which precipitates that you are the individual who makes 7 figures. And this is the shift that I've stepped into and that I'm stepping my team into. we all need to bring this level of intentionality where like we're looking and we're so freaking meticulous with every single thing that we're doing that we don't miss anything.